Senator Lazarus.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Senator representing the Prime Minister, the Honourable George Brandis. Yesterday, the Prime Minister reportedly stated during a party room meeting that the Senate crossbench is feral. I understand this is to mean that every crossbench senator in this chamber, in the eyes of the Prime Minister, is feral. As Australian senators, we carry out our responsibilities with great pride, honour and diligence. Why would the Prime Minister of Australia call the crossbench feral and, by implication, therefore, call every crossbench senator in this great chamber feral? Does the minister believe such language will be helpful to positively negotiate with the Senate in the future?
Order. Order. On my left. On my left. On my left, Senator Conroy, Senator Carr. Order. On my left. Order on my left. Senator Cameron. Senator Heffernan.
Point of order. I thought on good advice we were unrepresentative swill, Mr Keating.
That's no point of order, Senator Heffernan. I call the acting leader of the government of the Senate, the Attorney-General representing the Prime Minister, Senator Brandis.
Well, thank you, Mr President. Senator Lazarus, I can assure you that the Prime Minister—
On my left.
I can assure you, Senator Lazarus, that the Prime Minister and every minister in the government has the greatest respect for the 8 crossbench senators, including Senator Lazarus, for you. We may disagree with you, as
left.
plainly we do, on a number of important measures, but we respect you personally, we respect your constitutional position and the way in which you discharge it. But, Senator Lazarus, I'm bound to say that the Prime Minister and the government are frustrated at the fact that so much legislation that is important to the Australian people has been blocked by this chamber. The Senate, Senator Lazarus, should be a chamber of review, a house of review, not a house of refusal.
On my
Yet
left.
time and time again, at the instance of the Labor Party and the Greens, to which I'm sorry to say on occasions the crossbench senators have, with which the crossbench senators on occasions have joined, have blocked important legislation, and the most recent example, Senator Lazarus, is of course the government's higher education reforms. Now, Senator Lazarus, as we all know, last night this chamber blocked those reforms, and in doing so, dealt a terrible setback to the Australian higher education sector, a terrible setback to Australian universities.
Senator Moore, order. Pause the clock. Point of order, Senator Moore.
Mr President, I'm seeking your guidance, but I'm just wondering whether the minister's comments are moving towards reflecting on a vote in this place.
Well, he's not adversely reflecting on the vote necessarily. Order. Order on my left. Order. Order. And on my right as well. Senator Bernardi. Order. Order on both sides. The minister. Order. The minister is in order. I call the minister.
Thank you very much, Mr President. Now, Senator Lazarus, this is a package of measures that had the strong support of 40 of the 41 Australian university vice-chancellors. 40 out of 41 thought that this was a good thing for the Australian
Thank you, Minister. The time for
sector.
answering the question has expired. Senator Lazarus, order. A supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. According to dictionary.com, the word feral means existing in a natural state as animals not domesticated or wild, like a pack of feral dogs or wild animals roaming the woods.
On both sides. Order.
Did the Prime Minister have any senator in mind when he referred to the Senate crossbench as feral? And is the Prime Minister going to apologise to each and every one of us for such an appalling and disrespectful
Senator
statement?
Lazarus. The time for asking the question has expired. Order. On my left. On my right. Order. The Attorney-General.
Well, Senator Lazarus, the Prime Minister certainly didn't say that about the crossbench. He did not say that about the crossbench. And it may be that the Prime Minister had some senators in mind, Senator Lazarus, but if he did, it wasn't you. And I suggest you look to your right. I suggest you look to your right and to your immediate left. To your right and to your immediate left. If you want a clue as to who the Prime Minister
Pause the clock. Attorney-General. Attorney-General. Minister. Just a moment, Senator Milne. Order on both sides. Senators. Now, before I call Senator Milne on a point of order, the level of noise is just unacceptable. It does not paint the Senate in a good light by any stretch of the imagination. Senator Milne, a point of order.
Yes, Mr President. Immediately to Senator Lazarus's left is my colleague Senator Seward, and I would be horrified to think that she would be referred to as a feral, and I ask the Attorney-General to withdraw.
That is not a point of order. That is not a point of order. Sorry? Order. Senator Wong, if you want to address, stand up and speak to the point of order. I didn't. Senator Wong.
You may not have heard, Mr President, but I understood Senator Milne had asked for that to be withdrawn.
I didn't hear that. My apologies. But can you just clarify, what did you want to have withdrawn, Senator Milne?
The Attorney General told Senator Lazarus that the person to his immediate left was one of the ones who is being referred to as feral, and that is my colleague Senator Seward, and I'm asking for that to be withdrawn.
Order. Now, on both sides. Now, I'm sure that no one— Order. Order. Senator Singh, on the point of order.
A point of clarification, Mr President. Was it actually me that Senator Brandis then was referring to as feral?
Thank you, Senator. Look, Senator Heffernan, I trust this is a point of order.
Point of order.
Order.
I think the people in the gallery think we're all bloody feral.
There's no point of order, Senator. Just a moment, Senator Brandis. Now, there would be no surprise by any senator in the chamber that I didn't hear the comments of Senator Brandis because of the level of noise within the chamber. Now, if Senator Brandis has indicated something which needs to be withdrawn, I'll leave that up to Senator Brandis to make that assessment. But please, can we just keep the noise down? The odd interjection can be amusing, but not the level that we've had. Senator Brandis.
Mr President, I was merely speculating on what might have been in the Prime Minister's mind. I wasn't making a comment about any individual senator. Now,
Senator.
There is a more, amidst all this merriment and jollity, there's a more important point to be made, Senator Lazarus. These higher education bills are absolutely critical for the university sector, and I know, Senator, that we haven't yet been able to persuade you and others of the crossbenchers to support them. But the government will, after a period of deliberation, be
Thank you,
representing
Minister.
these
The
bills.
time for answering the question has expired. A final supplementary question, Senator Lazarus.
Rather than describing Senate crossbenchers as feral, wouldn't it be better for the government to actually consider the Senate's suggestions? For example, yesterday's Senate References Committee report regarding higher education recommended a proper review into costs and funding of the sector and alternatives to deregulation. Will the government take this recommendation on board or just keep calling senators names?
Minister.
Well, Senator, I have assured you that that statement was not made by the Prime Minister about the crossbenchers. That statement was not made by the Prime Minister about the crossbenchers. But I'll tell you, Senator Lazarus, because I know that you have been engaged in this discussion. I know that you've been good enough to give the Minister and his staff a good audience on these bills, and we will re-present the higher education legislation in a few months' time. And in the meantime, if you will entertain us, we will continue to try and persuade you why 40 out of the 41 Australian university vice-chancellors are right. We will seek to persuade you why, for example, the Nobel laureate Professor Brian Schmidt was right when he said this is an incredibly important reform. The current university funding model is not very good. I would say it is close to being broken. We will continue with respect
Thank you, Minister. The
to
time
seek to
for answering
persuade
the
you,
question
Senator.
has expired.